Big news just before Christmas. Guatemala becoming the first country to join the United States in moving its embassy in Israel from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. The announcement coming just days after a United Nations resolution that condemned President Trump's decision to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital. Guatemala was one of the few countries that stood up to defend the USA. Walid Phares, Fox News national security, foreign affairs analyst. Always a good friend to have on Christmas. Walid, nice to see you.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. As you break this down and this news coming so soon before Christmas, was this about Guatemala supporting Israel or Guatemala trying to curry favor with the United States?
That's a very good question. Actually, Guatemala has good relations with Israel, but definitely the way we see it from a geopolitical perspective, Guatemala is basically aligning with the United States. It is one of a number of countries which voted with or in defense of the United States at the United Nations, and we do expect that Guatemala and other countries in this camp are going to be moving their embassies. The other interesting group of countries are those who abstained, Leland. And these are large countries. Canada, Mexico, Argentina, Australia. These are the majority of Spanish speakers and Anglo-Saxons. So it is going to be played in the next few weeks and months, and we're going to see the final map of who will move their embassies or not.
Yeah, well, we heard about the Czech Republic talking possibly about moving its embassy. Romania also discussing it, although still on the fence. You talked about the countries that stood with the U.S. There was Guatemala, Togo, a couple of others for a total of 9. And we think about the people who abstained. You mentioned Canada. Then you think about the people who voted against the United States. We've got part of that list. Unfortunately, it's a long list, so we can't read it all. 128 in total, but the United Kingdom, Germany, France, and Japan all voting against the United States, taking a position against America. With friends like these, who needs enemies?
Well, look, Leland, to analyze it properly, they don't have domestic constituencies in all of these countries who are our allies across the pond and members of NATO. The difference is they don't have a constituency, as in the United States, that supports that move. Second, these countries basically will move or not their embassy depending on another block of countries, the Arab Muslim countries, about 57 to 58. And the Europeans have so much interests with these countries that they're going to wait for that to happen. Now, within that group of country, Arabs and Muslims, you have those more radical regimes who are going to be opposing the peace process. But then you have allies, the Saudis, the UAE, Egypt, Jordan. Two of these countries, Egypt and Jordan, already have relations with the Israelis, but they were waiting for different timing to be with the United States.
You brought up Jordan and Egypt, two Arab countries that have good relations with Israel. They also have great relations with the United States, and we give them an awful lot of money. You talk to folks in the region, Lebanon as well, that voted against the United States, gets a lot of American money. Are they worried about President Trump and Nikki Haley's threats that the United States has taken names and might dock their paychecks?
Those who are receiving aid, of course they would be worried. They would be worried about every single dollar they receive from the United States, every single euro they receive from the Europeans, but every single petrodollar they receive from the other side. I mean, there is a whole battle game in the region about that matter. But it seems to me that a number of Arab countries, and they don't receive foreign aid from us, like the Saudis or the UAE, they wanted a different timing, but at the end of the day, they're going to find a way. They're going to find a way to reconnect with the United States and have a peace process. The key matter here is to have the Palestinians being embraced by the Arabs and come to the peace process with the United States and Israel and produce one.
Yeah, and a lot of reporting now that the Palestinians are cozying up to the Turks much more than the Saudis, who've given them some tough love lately. Walid, Merry Christmas to you and yours. Always good to talk to you, my friend.
Thank you, Leland. Merry Christmas.
Good to see you.